Hi everyone and welcome to Self-Care Week. My name is Nick Burnett and I originally presented to the members of the IBS network in April 2016 at the annual event up in Sheffield. And the focus then was on the patient's perspective. So this video is on the same line. And today I'll be talking a little bit about what I do when it comes to managing changing symptoms, which I saw a lot of you suffer with on a kind of monthly, if not weekly, if not daily basis. And it can be one of the most frustrating things that happens, especially when you end up being quite controlled and disciplined like I usually am. And then from nowhere you can have a flare up, you can have a trigger, there's some issue which results in, all the nasty stuff which we have to deal with. So when I was diagnosed with IBS in 2011, I ended up having loads and loads of tests, cameras all over the place, took tons of pills, supplements, changed my diet, changed my lifestyle and things like that. And now I'm at a point where I'm relatively kind of in control of the symptoms. Day-to-day life is kind of much easier than it was a few years ago. And it doesn't kind of consume my kind of waking life, which is great. But I still have symptoms. And sometimes they're kind of difficult to manage, but in terms of a strategy, the way I deal with things these days is firstly, and this took me a little bit of time, is to accept that something's happened and that I might not, and most often do not have the answer as to why. So there's a level of acceptance which is helpful to stop you kind of spiraling out of control and getting angry, getting frustrated with the fact that you've done everything normal and yet you're still having some kind of flare up. So firstly, there's some acceptance there. Secondly, I give my guts a break. So I keep it simple. I have very kind of simple, bland foods, which normally kind of relate to low FODMAP. It's protein, it's fats, it's the safe vegetables, low on the fruits because of the sugars, and I just give my guts and my body a bit of a break. I try and obviously sleep well, hydrate, and then let the symptoms pass, which can take anywhere between 12 hours and 24 hours typically. And it's usually a trigger from food or drink that's happened. Quite often it's food, but I guess everyone's slightly different in how they react to things. For me, I tend to I guess process the issue pretty quickly and then get to reset fairly quickly after that, which is helpful. But I do get left, in the moment with bloating, with pains. I could get foggy head, and the kind of usual issues which everyone can appreciate, I'm sure. So I think really I just understanding that the gut is always processing things and it's got a job to do. I tend to just give it less to do. I try and relax into it. I try and make sure that I'm not allowing myself to get too stressed because that just exacerbates the issues, and I try and flush it through, and in a way ride it out. There are multiple strategies which I could use dependent on the symptom, but the thing which really helps me, to summarize, is the accepting of what's happened, and also being patient, knowing that it won't last that long. But I guess more crucially, give your guts a break, keep it simple, and do what you can to give it a bit of TLC. So I hope that helps. Know that you're not the only one out there dealing with all this stuff, and reach out to the IBS network because they've certainly helped me in the past. Thanks.